Assalamu alaikum students, how are you all? Today we are going to start the revision of unit number 10, Transport and Living Organisms. As you know, the unit is about the transport of material within the organisms. On the behalf of that, we have two types of organisms. The first one is unicellular and the other one is multicellular. Unicellular organisms are those organisms that have only one single cell in their whole life, and in multicellular organisms there are more than one cells that are combined to form their tissues, then organs, then organ system, and then a complete individual. So both type of organisms have different transporting system in them. What did we learn? We should learn about the movement of substances by different mean of you can say that to by the mean of processes. The first one is diffusion, simple, in which the exchange of material take place, and by the osmosis, in which the exchange of water will be take place. These are the passive. These need no energy. They just according to the gradient from the area of high concentration towards the area of lower concentration. In active transport or in active process, we need the material against the gradient. Against the gradient means we have them in lower concentration already, but we again want to take it, so we put on some energy and then we grab the materials. These are basically, you can see, the transport of mineral salts into the roots. In your book you have already mentioned these two types of transportation within plants as well as in animals. The transporting system of flowering plant is made basically comprises of xylem and phloem. The transport of water will be take place by the xylem, the tubes like material, and for the food we have phloem. These are the two cells that combine to form vascular tissues, and just because of these tissues the xylem and phloem perform their function. The xylem basically present more within the root hair cells, where they have to absorb water and minerals from the soil. They enter into the root hairs xylem, then they transfer to the aerial part of the plant. So here again two types of transportation take place: diffusion, osmosis, and also active transport against the gradient. Then we have transpiration, in which the phloems are involved. The water or the food that will be made within the leaves is transported to the lower and the aerial part of the plant by the mean of phloem. Transpiration is a necessary process, because whenever the leaves have stomata, water evaporate from these stomata into the atmosphere. A pull will be created from root to the top of the plant, so that new water molecules have new minerals as well as new useful substances. They will be moved with the water molecules. So transpiration is a very important. The removal of water molecules from the surface of the leaf is known as transpiration. The pressure or pull that is created from downward towards upward just because of the evaporation of water is known as transpiration pull. Then when we are talking about the organisms that are multicellular, especially in human beings, we come in contact with a complex system which is known as circulatory system. The first part, that the medium that is going to be circulate within the whole body, is blood. Blood basically have four parts, in which red blood cells that are responsible for the transportation of oxygen, platelets that are responsible for the protein formation where it will be needed, and white blood cells make the immune system of the where they fight by engulfing the germs or as well as by secreting some chemical. The fourth part is plasma. Plasma is basically the liquid part of the blood in which all the substances, all the minerals, all the useful substances as well as wasteful substances are present in this part. This is the blood, that is the medium which have to be transported. Then we have blood vessels. Blood vessels are of two types, an artery and a vein. An artery carry oxygenated blood, a vein carry deoxygenated blood. The walls of the arteries are thick because the pressure within these are higher because they have to transport within the whole body. A vein have thin layer as compared to arteries because they have to take the blood back to the heart, and they have to take the blood from the heart to the other part because it have pure blood and it have impure blood. Capillary is the intermediate situation. These are the small vessels that are tube-like that also originate from arteries if they have oxygenated blood, and then they rejoin to form vein that have deoxygenated blood. Here a clear-cut picture. You can see that the red blood will be shows that it's the impure, it's the pure blood. Then the capillaries, in this area cells are present in which the tissue will exchange the fluid, like capillaries from the arteries. Then they generate and divide it into small parts. They give the oxygen, the rich blood to the cells, and from the other cells, the wasteful substances will be again taken by the capillaries and they are rejoined to form a vein, and then vein again back to the heart for the purification of the blood. Here we have structure of heart. We know that heart is four chambered. The first upper two are the smaller one and the lower two are the larger ones. Upper one are called atriums and the lower one are called ventricles. All the impure blood from the whole body will be enter into the vein, that will be a superior vena cava, that is combinedly, and then first of all the towards the right side, here we have impure blood in the right atrium. From right atrium it will be entered into the right ventricle, and here in between them they have a valve which is known as Tricuspids Valve. Okay, from whenever the blood is going to be leave the heart for the purification towards the lung, again a valve is present which is known as pulmonary valve. Basically the function of valve, they prevent the backflow of the blood. Then these veins take the blood towards the lungs for purification. Sorry, these are the arteries. And then after the purification from the lungs, the pulmonary vein will be taken the blood and come back towards the left atrium. From left atrium it will be entered into the left ventricle, and again a valve is present which is known as aortic valve. From left ventricle blood is pushed back to the aerial and as well as lower part of the body which is the pure one, which is known as aorta. Again a valve is present here which is known as mitral valve, that is present between the article and ventricle, and aortic valve is present in this area, that will be prevent the backflow. These are the basically certain types of different types of arteries as well as vein that are supply blood to the different like systems. If we talking about the hepatic artery and hepatic vein, then liver, the hepatic portal, mesentery, renal basically supply the blood and take the blood from the kidney. Okay, these are the mesentery artery and vein that supply the blood to the digestive system. So ileum arteries that supply blood to the lower part of the human body. These are the basically circulation of blood that is present. Again a worksheet is have it's the revision worksheet. Kindly do the questions by yourself. Again for your help I have mentioned the areas where you can got the answer. Thank you so much. Allah Hafiz.